All right, it's story time. So I'm going to talk about I'd say it's my first proper relationship, my first true love. And this relationship, we were together for about 4 years. We met in college. We were in the same IT class. I remember I walked in late one day. I walked in a bit late and there was 2 free seats available, one next to a dorky looking guy and another next to her, which she was pretty cute at that time. Of course, I took the seat next to her. We got talking, and eventually I asked her out pretty quickly, and then we started seeing each other regularly in between breaks at college. We ended up getting into a relationship. The first year was amazing. It was perfect, I would say. It was just one of those like idyllic teen loves. Your first real love, you're just head over heels, right? We hit it off, but we had differences. Looking back at it, we had differences. I was very creative. I was playing in bands back then. I was very artistic. And I was just into those kind of creative things. And I wasn't truly like really focused on college. My dream was to play in a band. Her dream was, she grew up in quite a poor family. Her mum was the main breadwinner in the family. Even though her mum and dad were together, her dad had health issues, so her mum was the main breadwinner, supported her brother and 2 sisters, so 4 kids. And there wasn't a lot of money growing up. So she was really business minded. She wanted to like get the top grades, get into the best uni, go earn loads of money. Fair enough. Respect. I wasn't in that frame of mind back then. We were in college, we would have been like 17 years old. We had a great first year, but I think I got complacent and the differences started becoming evident looking back on it. But at the time, I was very blue-pilled. I had loads of blind spots. So basically what happened was in the second year of the relationship, she started going out a lot. She basically turned 18, started going out a lot with her friends. Obviously when she started going out, she's getting a lot of attention. At the time, I completely distrusted her. The girls' holidays started. She went to Malia one year. Another year, she went to Magaluf, which is nicknamed Shagaloof for a reason. It was her 18th birthday, I remember, and she was wearing this like tight, high little mini skirt, and she just loved the attention. She loved the attention from the guys, and I just ignored the red flags. I ignored all of them. So basically, she goes on this girls' holiday. I trust her. I don't know if anything happened. If anything happened, I still don't know to this day. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But at the end of year 2, she wants a break, basically. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, what? You want a break? I can't believe it. And I was so upset. I was like bawling my eyes out. I remember I spent like a week on the sofa at my parents' house. I was just like so heartbroken. But then eventually you start to move on, and I'd got used to it, and I started enjoying my single life as a young 18, 19-year-old. And then 6 months later, I'd say 6 to 9 months later, she comes back. And she says, I miss you so much. You're the love of my life. Give me all this. And I took her back. Because I don't know, first love, I guess, just naive. I shouldn't have, but I did. And also I was living in a small town, not many options around there. So, yeah, you do what you do. And then basically we were back together about a few months later. We finished college. She goes to uni. So at this time I didn't go to uni. I started an apprenticeship. We did long distance. I was doing my band because I was really trying to like push the band and see if we could make it. And she then went to uni, met up every couple of weeks on weekends. She struggled with money, coursework. She was working part-time as well. And she had she struggled emotionally. So we went through 2 years of long distance of uni together, about 2 years. And then she takes a gap year, and then she goes into her 3rd and final year. And during that 3rd and final year, I go to the same town and I re-enroll at uni. So we end up moving in together, and this is the first time we properly move in together. And this really was like the beginning of the end for me, for both of us. Like it was so clear that it just wasn't going to work. It was great at first. We were all excited to have our own place, but I was doing my own thing quite a lot. I was like, I was very involved in music. When I first went to uni, I was playing like open mics. She had like zero interest in that. She basically just wanted to finish uni and then just get out and go get a job, basically. So she wasn't really coming to any of my gigs. We were spending quite a lot of time apart. We just didn't really share that much time together whilst even we were living together. And then she was really distancing herself. Some weekends, like most weekends actually, she would say she was going to her sister's. It would be quite common for her to say, like, I'm going to go away for the weekend, and I'm just going to go stay with my sister. Okay, fair enough. And then one day I come back, I think it was like Valentine's Day, and I see these like flowers and chocolates on the countertop, and I'm like, what are these? I confront her about it, and then she kicks off. She gets really, really pissed off about it. How dare you accuse me? They're from like a client at work, because she was working as like a carer for like a home care company at the time. And I was like, okay, I believe you. It just seems strange that there's heart chocolates and flowers with like a big rose and heart in the flowers. Like, it seemed really romantic to me, especially considering it's Valentine's Day. Like, it looked really bad, and it was. I was a dumbass to believe it. And then basically we end up sleeping in separate beds. It's a 2-bedroom flat. I don't know how this happened, but we end up sleeping in separate beds. And then I just assume, like, this is clearly over. This relationship is finished. So I then go out. I end up meeting someone else, and I bring her home one night. And then, because my ex was barely in, she pretty much moved out. There would be weeks would go by where I wouldn't see her. So one night I bring this girl back, and my ex typically comes back that morning. And she's really pissed off, like, how dare you, this is our flat. And I said, well, I'm sorry, like, you've been gone for ages, and what do you expect? Like, we haven't been sleeping in the same bed as each other. Like, we basically, our relationship had finished. In my eyes anyway, it didn't look like she wanted to be in the relationship anymore, so I just moved on. She got really pissed. But anyway, that was the end. She ended up packing her stuff. We both finished a year off, but then we basically left. She left the flat early and left Bournemouth, the town where we were studying in, early, and then I stayed the rest of the time in that flat, and then I moved into a different one for the following year. And then about 9 months after she left, I was in a club in Bournemouth, and this guy approached me in the bathroom of the club, and he said, he basically approached me, and he knew who I was. And I was like, okay, how do you know who I am? He said, do you know your ex? I said, yeah, it's my ex. And then he told me that was, he was her boyfriend. So I said, okay. And then he wanted to talk with me about it. So we went upstairs to the smoking area and he started asking me when we actually properly split up. And I said, well, we were living together until like 9 months ago. And then he was like, oh no, because there was like an overlap of when they started dating and when we kind of finished. There was like a weird overlap. So basically that whole time that we were living together, shortly after, she decided that she was going to make a move on this guy who was in her business class at college. However it panned out, I don't know. But she told him she was single. She also told him that I was a complete asshole. And so, yeah. Then he was like, you can hit me if you want, I can take it. And I was like, why do I want to hit you? Like, you didn't know. I didn't know. Like, I'm not pissed off at you. She's the one who's done the dirty. So I messaged her. I was like, I just met your boyfriend. cheers for letting me know. Like, you could have at least told me. And she was like, I'm sorry you had to find out about like this. And then that was it. That was the last time I ever heard from her. But yeah, I moved on, and it was just a real eye-opener from that moment. It just made me realize, like, sometimes you don't see the whole person. Sometimes, for me, she was a different person at the end than she was at the beginning. And heartbreak, honesty and communication is essential. I would have rather if she just told me to my face about how she felt, what was going on. If she just told me, look, I've met someone else, I don't want to be with you anymore, then I would have accepted it. But it dragged it out way too long. And I've made mistakes during that time as well. Like, I know I'm not perfect, and it taught me a lot about, don't get comfortable, always be self-improving. It's important to focus on like your finances. I was so focused on the creative arts, music, and I wasn't really prioritizing finances at all. I was just focused on my music. I thought that was going to be my future. And although, to be honest, it could have led to me being very successful had it have panned out how I wanted it to back then, but it didn't. So yeah, I guess we were on different paths, and I fully trusted in her. And I guess I was very blue pilled to the fact that, I thought her love was unconditional. And considering she asked for me back, saying I was the love of her life after the first breakup, and there were also loads of red flags throughout the relationship as well, which I should have been wiser to. But, you learn these mistakes and you carry the knowledge forward in life, so to be better for the next person you meet. So I don't regret any of it. It made me wiser, it made me more aware. And but I see, it made me see relationships differently now, for better or for worse. I know what to look out for. I know I'm not going to be blindsided like I was. And I think a lot of guys have to go through kind of getting really kind of screwed over in a way, to learn the lesson, to learn what to look out for now. So yeah, if you've ever had an experience like this, just let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it.